Hey guys, so this month's wrap up is going to be a little different, and I know it's a little dark. I apologize. I don't want the light to be like super blue either though, so it's like I'm playing with the light settings, trying to figure that all out for you guys, because I don't have a little mini ring light yet, so we're going to do it a little differently. I have a couple of books here, which obviously you can see one for the wrap up. So, we've got 3 physicals, and then I've got a couple of that I had in physical that I didn't quite finish. I'll let you guys know kind of like my rating and how it was. As I'm going in the wrong direction, we're gonna do things a little bit different at the end of next month. I mean, obviously it's about February 12th, and I said everything would be coming out Monday, and this is Monday. This is me getting it out, getting it to you, and apologizing on behalf because I have a big stack of books right there I need to finish this month. And you guys are going to help me set up March. So we're going to be doing the wrap up like the day of, I think, the end of the month. I have to look at that. What day is that? That would be on a Thursday, which I'm typically working. So I'll probably make like the wrap up video a couple days before and like add a couple in at the end, depending on the time that I have, because that week, I'm going to be working a little bit extra because I'm going to be taking like a mini vacation. So I probably won't have time to really read much. If I do, I will add a chunk at the end of the video. Not that hard. Not that hard. Could be worse. So without further ado, I read a total of 5 books, which isn't a lot, especially with my impossible goal of reading 453 of my physical TBR. Out of my physical TBR, I read 3. Supposed to read about like 1.5 a day of my physical, but I got 3. But I already got some done for this month, so we're good. We're good there. I also have a lot of library books, so these are all library books. So don't ask me what I'm doing to myself. I am who I am, and I'm not going to apologize for it. So we're going to start off with the ones on like Kindle stuff, and the first one is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I did not like this as much as I thought I would. The elements and the thought process is absolutely amazing, and I'm watching the dog in the background because she wants the TV on because we're watching The Rookie, but it's not happening. But this book did have a lot of potential. I will say that. I'm not going to hold that up the entire time because that does hurt. But I felt like we were missing a whole bunch out of it. I felt like we were missing more of a magic build-up system. It wasn't like heavy on the magic, which is probably why it's labeled as a regular fiction and not like, fantasy or anything like that. But the relationship between Cecilia and Marcus, like they say straight up, oh my gosh, they fall in love. They don't fall in love until like over halfway through the book. So the fact that they threw it in there, them being in love and everything going to crap, like they didn't really fall in love till halfway 3/4 of the way through the book, and like nothing like really happened. Like they were just like, oh cool, we're suddenly in love, though like one of them was already in a relationship. So like tell me how complicated that is. Like I don't know, didn't really enjoy it, not my thing. And I love the idea of like circus magic and all that, so I bought a book that is super controversial right now on Red Tower, that I'm planning on reading. So we will see how that goes. But that's how I feel. I think I gave that like a 2.5, 3 out of 5. Wasn't my thing. I didn't think I had a more character, I guess, development than plot, but it felt like the character development is very weak because neither of them really like changed their headspace. They were like, oh, we care about the people that raised us, but we didn't really care enough to really do anything about it, yada, 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 all that fun stuff. So, that's how I feel about that, okay? Like, I don't feel great, I don't feel warm, I don't feel fuzzy about it, I just feel very about that one. Second book we got up was the one that I have a video coming out later this month, which is The Golden Couple. This was a thriller. It was a blind date with a book box that Casey ended up getting me for Christmas. Every treat in there, everything in there was great except caramel. I'm not a big caramel person. We might know this. We might not know this. But it came with hot chocolate, a mug. It came with a great time. I curled up on the couch. The first day I read like half of it. And then I kind of like read it because I didn't really have the mental capacity to actually sit and like just read a book that day. I wanted to do other things that I hadn't been able to do since moving in. So it ended up being like a week-long skirmish. But I really ended up enjoying this. The twist got me. So essentially there's this therapist that gets fired. Her name is Avery. And you don't really see how she gets her license taken away or anything like that. You just know she did something very, very unethical. But she's still kind of doing therapy without doing therapy under a non-license. And it's a 10 session. So she has a name for every session. I don't remember every single one. But, dude, it's intense. Like, she purposely makes her clients angry. She purposely, like, brings them to light. She literally gives me a come to Jesus moment. And she doesn't care how she has to do it. Like, she will do anything, ethical, unethical, and she will protect your butt. If you are her client, like, you are protected. You are good. There are tabs in this book that were given to me in this package that kind of match the vibe of the book for, like, suspense, favorites, which I had 3 favorites. Oh, I had a couple of favorites, but there's definitely a lot of, like, suspensey spots, and definitely stuff about characters, because, like, some characters are introduced, like, way later in this book. But the other main character is Marissa. Marissa is part of a married couple, and she seeked out Avery as a therapist due to her friend's suggestion out of a magazine where the article of Avery said getting fired for doing such a, not only an excellent job, but because, like, you know, she did and did not do an excellent job. And you find out right off the bat, it's not a secret, not even on the back of here, that she basically cheated on her husband, and she wants them to work it out. But she wants to do it. She's like, I'm never going to do it again. Like, I felt, like, instant regret and, like, hatred towards myself. So it was just like, I don't condone cheating by any means, but, like, you are rooting for Marissa because of everything that you kind of go into a little bit, but you're not at the same time, because it's just like, she's lying the entire time. I don't know how else to describe it. She is lying through her teeth to everybody the entire time, and I so apologize for Aloy eating in the background, but apparently she decided I got home, so she's gonna eat some food. One other aspect of the story is Avery is being stalked, and you don't know by who. You know that one of her clients was, like, kind of gave way to something that FDA was not approved, like, very, very bad juju, and that one of her clients' exes is still psycho and stalking her too. And people are, like, breaking into her house and, like, doing some crazy stuff. And you're trying to figure out what's going on. And then on Marissa's side, there's stuff from her past coming up. And you're just like, what the flippity floppity flew? I don't remember how high I rated this book. I have it written down here. Like, there was a bookmark that came with it. I rated this a 4.5 star. Like, the twist in the end, actually, I think, like, part of the twist shocked me, and then the other part of the twist, I was like, yeah, I could see that coming, but, like, I did not see that coming. There's, like, 2 separate things that happen at the way end of this book, and anything by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekin, which we do have a couple of books at work that I'm planning on checking out and just reading, because, like, this was so good. This is, like, a big rec of mine that I've been giving people, depending on what they're looking for. Like, if they're looking for thriller, I have to ask them what kind of thriller, because, like, I have people that are like, well, first of all, she cheated on her husband. Like, I'm not interested in reading that because there's no coming back. It's like, dude, there are so many other things. Like, yeah, I get it. The cheating is the, like, highlight of the book. Like, it's what is supposed to draw you in. But no, think therapist that got fired for being unethical and being stalked. And, like, being threatened by life and threatening her lifestyle after her husband dies. Like, dude, check this out. Like, this one is good. This one I really, really enjoyed. And I'm not going to give anything away. Just realize that, holy mackerel, did I love this book. I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Let's put it over here. Okay, these books are completely out of order, but these are the only other 2 that I read this month, and I think I'm just going to show them together. How I'm going to show them together, on the other hand, is beyond me. I think this side would go first. No, this one would. I was right the first time, which is Crescent City, Sky and Breath, and Flame and Shadow. And I was going to read the third one too, but guess what happened? I finished this one. Guess what happened when I finished this one? I woke the dead by me swearing. And I swore so loud that my dog jump scared. I was 6 pages to finishing the second one before the midnight release party that we had at work. These are the only things by Sarah J. Maas I have read, which is why I swore so loud, because, for one, now I have to read a whole other series before I can read the third one. I was told I do not have to read Throne of Glass, but I do have to read A Court of Thorns and Roses, or I am going to be spoiled a little bit. And I'm not going to lie, I don't want to be spoiled. I checked out the first book from work because, like, my copies of not Throne of Glass. Wow! Court of Thorns and Roses are original covers, are original, like, sheet jackets, like, all that, and I really, really, really don't want to mess them up, as they're still in pristine condition after moving them so many times. So I really don't want to touch them. I really don't want to mess them up. So they're not going to be touched. As I finish them, I'll put them on the shelf, and I'll debate getting 2 paperbacks because the only original cover I don't have is Frost of Starlight. So I'm going to just, like, maybe buy the first 3 again in paperback, if I ever want to read them again, but I want to determine whether or not I like it enough to read it again. Everybody's telling me I'm going to love it. My manager and I are reading them together, kinda. I'm, like, catching up on so many things that it's just like, my brain cells. Because she also has me reading other stuff, so. I'm having a time, guys. I'm having a time, and as you can tell by the, blank shelf right there. That's where I just got these books from. But House of Earth and Blood. It is rough definitely first little bit. I tell people they can start on chapter 5 and read on. If they do not like a good world build and kind of like annoying party-esque like talking. Because that's basically what it is. It's like you kind of find out about those days anyway as you read through the book. Because they do bring it up a lot. So it's not like something that you could just like not read and not get anything out of it. But you do get, like, little inside jokes that maybe you wouldn't get further in the book. So, it's kind of like yes, no, maybe so kind of thing. I mean, once I got past that bit, I, like, read the entire thing in, like, a 24-hour period. And that's, like, an 800-page baby. And the twist at the end just had me going, excuse? You okay? Excuse you? No, it had me going, excuse me, and then I, like, read the second book. I, like, read 100 pages the first day, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's literally the 29th. I have to be at work till midnight, and I sat there and I read, like, 600 pages, made it to page 794 out of 801, and then finished it, like, 2 days after, so, like, on the 31st, and I was about to pick up the third one. I was so excited to read the third one, and then I'm, like, posting on Instagram, hey, guess what? Can't do it. She has me, like, itching her butt over here. Aloy's like, I am in need of some attention. You've been gone all day because your parents wanted to celebrate your birthday. And I didn't take her with me because I had to go grocery shopping. So she's really upset right now. I did a self-help book, guys. Thriving with Anxiety. You can't really see very well. Okay, can I, like, turn this down and make it better for you guys' eyes? Thriving with Anxiety by David H. Roseman. I have this project this year where I am doing some self-help books, but I'm actually taking things in. And I did read that a lot later in the month. But things like I finally started to get like my footing with my anxiety. And then all of a sudden somebody hit my car and it all flew out the window. So I'm going to be like pulling some of those things back in, the things that definitely aren't in my control. But let me tell you, that is such a good tool belt, like for just tools in general that'll help you. I am impressed by how well that even the little bits that I used over the entire week that I had read it before my car got hit worked for me. And now I just got to worry about bringing myself back to my center, and doing it like that. So I'm very impressed that everything didn't go as badly as I thought it could go, especially when it comes to that stuff, because usually I'll read out and be like, I don't wanna, it's fine, it's dandy. No, Kim. The entire point of this year for me was to definitely do a chunk of mental health work. So that is what I am doing, and that is how I am doing it. And that being my first book that I did is absolutely impressive, and I enjoyed it. So, like, my plan is at least one book a month, so that way I have 1 month each to focus on one specific skill set. Last month was anxiety. This month is still going to be a little bit of anxiety until at least towards the end, because I had that big setback. So I'm trying not to push myself too fast. Again, which is good. The anxiety's been getting better, but, like, I do have some major, like, reactions now. Instead of getting anxious about it and not knowing what to do, I'm either, like, super happy or super upset, and I need to rein myself in. So there is, like, things that you need to work on within working on things, which I think is difficult to really accept that can happen. But it happens, and the mental health about it is not like a one-step easy fix-all. It is literally mini micro steps that can literally change your personality viciously where you don't realize it at first. I realize I'm more swinging and actually reacting, and my anxiety in my relationship alone, which I didn't even realize I knew I had anxiety, didn't realize that I had it with them. I'm able to actually speak up about it now, which is great. So definitely keep it in mind if you're having, like, anxiety and just, like, everyday to-day tasks. Like, I'm having anxieties about my dog, dude. I'm having anxieties literally about just getting up and brushing my teeth, and now I'm like, I'm pretty chill. Still the anxiety. But even after my car got hit, I feel like I could be a lot more anxious than I am right now. So I'm just kind of going with the flow and still giving myself time to breathe and relax to the best of my ability. I just still feel like I haven't been able to stop. Which is why I'm taking that 4-day break at the end of the month, which is why I'm like, I'm not so sure I'm going to get much reading done. But we will see. And we will succeed. And even if we don't get as much done as we want to, we are still going to celebrate ourselves. But essentially, I didn't get any writing done. And I know this is kind of more of a reading wrap-up because I didn't do any writing. I didn't do any editing. I didn't do anything to do with anything. So that really sucked. I do plan on doing some this month. I just got to figure out how. And we're using the reading planner that I got through Owlcrate, and I am enjoying it. I am actually almost done a book that I'm really enjoying right now, which I am surprised I am enjoying a dark romance as much as I am. I'm not even gonna lie. I just had, like, dog hair just come right out of my dog. It's time for you to be brushed, my dear. You are shedding. But it's so good. It is so good. I am so happy with it. I think I need to flip my pages. I do need to flip my pages. Oh no! But yeah, look at me. I'm all lost. And I need to just, like, breathe for a second. Okay, we're breathing. We're done. I'm gonna finish my audiobook now. And this will be up and running and posted very, very soon. And I do apologize for not doing any writing. Depression is hard, and I didn't even read that much as I wanted to. So, there was that. I mean, I would have been fine if I got a little bit more done. I know I got 2 big boys done, but, like, I literally spent, like, I think a decent amount of my days, like, reading, like, a chapter. Which is fine, but I also just wanted to just do nothing and, like, cry and complain and panic because nothing was getting done, and that was my own fault if I stopped. Without further ado, I bid you all farewell, and I hope you have an excellent night.